Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Music Week reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, be it LCPs or singles, and after having listened to them all week, I come back here and I review them. I share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release, Gabby Barrett's new album, Chapter and Verse. Gabby Barrett's new album, Chapter and Verse. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, definitely a country album with some contemporary influence. Some upbeat moments, and some ballad moments. Leaning more slightly on the ballad side of the equation, but make no mistake about it, definitely some upbeat moments here too. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. So, though this is not a Christian album per se, you can definitely see Gabby's Christian faith and God's love on display here, and how God's love influences her life, and also the love of her family, might I add. And as for the lyrics here, Gabby Barrett talks about how she's grateful to God for how he and her family's love is helping her enjoy growing and being herself as she grows in pursuing her dreams and loving and being honest with her family. Up next, The Blind Co's new reimagined album, 10. The Belonging Co.'s new reimagined album, 10, with 10 songs celebrating 10 years of their church. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, definitely a worship album. Mostly on the ballad side, but a couple upbeat moments at the start with Zeal and Come Alive. And an upbeat moment at the close with Just the Mention of His Name. Genre-wise, the worship sound incorporates elements of contemporary, alternative, a little bit of pop, and even a little bit of gospel in the closing track, Just the Mention of His Name. And as for the lyrics here, love the lyrics here. Really speaks to how we can, in the midst of fear, look to Jesus' resurrection for peace. And as for the lyrics here, The Belonging Co. talks about praising Jesus for how in his love and grace, through his sacrificial death on the cross, he redeemed us free from sin to give us a life of peacefully trusting our hope in him, to, in the midst of fear, to be sovereign over it through his death-defeating resurrection, to faithfully, victoriously fulfill God's promise of restoration, even if it seems impossible. Up next, J.J. Heller's new single, Here For You. J.J. Heller's new single, Here For You. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good song here. Stylistically, definitely an upbeat jazz pop feel here. So again, kind of like with her first Friday single this month, kind of taking an upbeat pop approach, it seems like J.J. Heller is in this new year. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here too, like the perspective that this love song takes about how God arranges for two people to meet and fall in love. And as for the lyrics here, J.J. Heller talks about how she's grateful that the Lord meant for her and her husband to be here for each other in this moment in time. Up next, the live extended version of Mission House's new album, Family Nights, Volume 1, All Your Heart. Mission House's live extended version of Family Nights Volume 1, All Your Heart. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good extended version here. What's new on here, though? 4 new songs. Stylistically, the album, and I'm going to speak for both the original part of the album and the new tracks here. Mostly a collection of worship ballads, but a couple upbeat moments as well. The worship sound contains elements of contemporary, folk, alternative, and even a little bit of gospel as well here. And as for the lyrics here, love the lyrics here. Really speak to our continuous need to be peacefully dependent upon Jesus. And as for the lyrics here, Mission House talks about continuously, peacefully, depending on Jesus to draw us to his glorious love through his death on the cross that welcomes us to be saved free from our sin, to have life of trusting in him, to faithfully be with us to sustain our strength when it's hard, to joyfully follow his leading and reflecting that love by helping one another. Up next, Jay-Way's full-length debut album, Island Forgotten. Jay-Way's debut album, Island Forgotten. Let's dive into it. So pretty good album here. Stylistically here, definitely a crazy diverse album, as Jay-Way's sound incorporates hip-hop, alternative, R&B, pop, and pop rock, and even a little bit of punk influence as well here. And as for the lyrics here, good lyrics here. Really like how Jay-Way talks about the need to break free from fake friends who don't support our dreams. And as for the lyrics here, Jay-Way talks about how despite their attempts for their love to make it through, he had to move on from his girl who was faithfully there for him until her unloyalty, not supporting his dreams, thrust him into being hopelessly depressed. So he can surrender the pain of depression. He had to move on so he can surrender the pain of the depression to God so he can overcome the pain to achieve his dreams of providing for his mom. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like my launch video, please subscribe. I put out videos every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Also, if you have any thoughts on today's releases or what I said about them, let me know in the comments below. Also, in the comments, you can let me know if there's any awesome releases that came out today that you want to see in next week's video. Also, check out the playlist section for our Music Muffin Dreams playlist available here on YouTube and also on Spotify. And this month's edition of the playlist includes songs from artists like Phil Wickham, Shane and Shane, Lakewood Music, and others. So go and check that out if you're interested. Well, go now. See you next week. Bye!